soon as this little blue screen disappears, we will be live. So, hello to everybody who's watching. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. And hello to everybody in the UK who is off to go and see the movie Aquaman, which officially releases today in the UK, the 14th of December. So it's been a while since I've actually played this game due to real life being in the way, as well as actually learning more about this game and doing some stuff with some cosplay. I've learned a little bit more about this game, specifically how it ends. You can only make one decision per one character. So your boy Jai has actually done up another character, and I've gotten him pretty much towards the last level story-wise.
Okay, so we need to find Harley Quinn fast. I know a few of her secret hideouts, so I'll check on those. Meanwhile, you guys make your way to Bel Rev and see if her Task Force X buddies know anything about where she is.
So while we are going to be on the hunt for Harley Quinn, guys, I've done everything I can to learn as much as I can about this game. And since I have the opportunity, I think what I'll do is I'll show you guys where we can pick up a character profile. And it's one that we're actually going to be buying. So if we make our way over to Stryker's Island with Killer Frost, and we head right here and we hit this chest,
I was hoping for a cuddly
we'll get
polar
a character
bear doll,
file.
but this will do.
Now the character file is one that I've sadly already picked up because I had some other things to do on this file. Don't worry, I haven't done anything on the story yet. But the character that we pick up there is one of my favourite and most obscure DC characters, and that is Detective Chimp. Now, if you can get Detective Chimp early on in the level or early on in the game, I would highly, highly recommend picking him up, because he is really, really, really good, because he does a lot of things that some kind of like DC characters like Batman do. And unfortunately, characters like Batman, Nightwing and Batgirl and various other ones take a little bit longer to get. You have to wait a very long time. So it's nice that they give us a nice one really early on. And he doesn't cost that much. He's only, what, $2.50? So we can unlock him, but we won't unlock him just yet, because there's also another character that we can pick up, and that is Raven. And the reason why we want to pick up these two characters is because they have very special abilities that can help us progress through the game when doing things like free play. And very quickly, we're also going to just quickly cap over some of the character packs that we've had since I last played. So the initial character pack that we got was the TV supervillains, which include the likes of Indigo from the Supergirl TV show, who was played by the Supergirl in Smallville, believe it or not. And she's also a kind of female version of Brainiac. When people ask me about Indigo, there's two Indigos in the DC universe that I always wonder who they're asking about. This being one of them, the other being part of the Indigo tribe, which is part of the Lantern universe. And that would be Indigo 1. So I always wonder who, when somebody asks me about Indigo, I always say, which one? We'll have a quick look at her abilities. So she can fly. She can do hyper jump. She can take photos, like every character in this game can take a photograph. She can smash into walls because she's super strong. She can track. She can teleport. She has technology capabilities, super strength. She can travel through vents, and as well as that, she can climb up walls. So that is Indigo. So she was the first DLC character that we kinda got. Next is Prometheus from the TV show Arrow. I think he was in a most recent season. If it's not the current season, then it would have been the previous one. So he can do projectile rebound when standing on a rebound pad. Can also take photographs. He can do the grappling hook. He's an acrobat. He can go in stealth mode. He can work with technology. He can do tracking. He can do the twirl sockets. I think that's about it. He uses a bow, believe it or not, as well as a nice little sword, as we can see on his back. I'll just spin him around there just to make y'all feel sick. So it's nice to see him there. Next up we have Rain, again a Supergirl villain, and one whom I actually really admire because they played this character so well. I love it in TV shows when they do that kind of almost like the character doesn't know they're a supervillain type of thing. It's like a dual personality, which I think really contrasts well with shows like that when you've got heroes that have like their super side, but also their normal side. You know, their I have to go out into the world and be the Clark Kents, the Bruce Waynes, and it's really nice to see that kind of struggle for control. So Samantha, or Sam Eris, was also on Supergirl. She's part of the World Killers in LexCorp. She's immune, or is protected from toxic gases. She has fire protection. She can fly. She can go into detective mode. She has toxic goo protection. She has heat vision. She has the hyper jump and the ice breath, as well as X-ray vision, super strength, smashing walls, and photo mode. So there we go. And just as an FYI, guys, I actually have used Sam's chest in one of my other characters, as well as the hair. So there's that. Next up we have a character from the Legends of Tomorrow, as well as Arrow and Flash in Vandal Savage. An immortal caveman. So let's see, what can an immortal caveman do? He can do a beam deflection. He can do a boomerang move with his staff. He can control goons. Goon control is something that you come across quite a bit in this game. He has heat powers from his staff. He can make a shield to protect himself from incoming damage. Projectile rebound, which I think is tied into his shield. And of course photo mode. Now those of you who are eagle-eyed, pun intended, will recognise Vandal Savage's staff there. So he does come with that staff as a weapon, guys. Next up is Vigilante, who was also in Arrow, and is the fiance of the most current Black Canary in Dinah Lance. So he can do photo mode, he can do illumination, which is lighting up dark areas, he can do the grappling hook, he goes into detective mode, he can projectile rebound things, he can go in stealth mode, He has technology, and he can do tracking. And he actually is a really handy character if you can't get Detective Chimp really early on. Because there's certain things that he can do that are required in like the free play moves. Well, the free play levels, which is like all the levels you've already played through. But there are certain other things that once you get to a certain point, which we'll be getting to today, that you need Detective Chimp for. Well, at least when you're doing the free play. So it's a cool little character. And last up on the TV versions is Zoom. Zoom himself. So you'll recognize Zoom from The Flash. So he has acrobatical moves. He can take photographs. He can teleport. He has teleportation. He can climb walls. He has sonar for some reason. Well, I suppose sonar because, you know, sonic boom and such likes. He can also use the cosmic treadmill. Now, Zoom is actually one of... Well, let's see, you got Zoom, the Reverse Flash, Flash, and then 2 versions of Kid Flash, plus any character that you make that you want to have as a speedster. So yeah, he's one of initially... one of initial 5 Flashes, well actually 6, sorry. So that was the DC Supervillains TV pack that they did. Zoom, Vigilante, Vandal Savage, Rain, and Prometheus, as well as Indigo. For the superheroes, they did Vibe from The Flash, whom in stark contrast is actually a villain. Well, he started out that way in the comic books, I think. I'm pretty sure he did. But in the TV show, he is a hero and he is part of Team Flash. He can use detective mode, obviously the sonar, sonar bolts for when he's fighting, mirror portal, which is really, really handy, photo mode, technology, tracking, and security access. Really, really handy, and Cisco is a really welcome addition to this game. So that was Cisco. Next up, we have Supergirl. Obviously from the Supergirl TV show. This is the one based off of Melissa Benoist. So Kara Zor-El, or Kara Danvers, can use actual detective mode, is immune to toxic gas, toxic goo, she can fly, she has protection from electricity, protection, well, heat vision, hyper jump, and fire protection. She can smash through walls because she's super strong. She's Supergirl. She's security access. She can take photos. She has her cold breath and super strength and X-ray vision. And it's actually a really cool model of Melissa Benoist. So, yeah. And if I'm mispronouncing names here, guys, in terms of the actors and such likes, I am so sorry. Melissa Benoist, if you're watching, really, really sorry. But next up we have Mr. Terrific from Team Arrow. Now he is actually one of the characters I wasn't expecting to see, because I kind of expected the likes of your Supergirls and your Arrows and your Flashes and like some of the villains. Like I really did expect Zoom, but Mr. Terrific was a welcome surprise. So Curtis Holt, Mr. Fair Play from Team Arrow, can do acrobatical moves. He can do explosives with his T-spheres. He can go invisible, work with technology, take pictures, and have security access, which is pretty cool for Curtis. It's a really cool version of him as well. And obviously we have the Green Arrow TV series. So Oliver Queen probably has the majority of the same abilities that Green Arrow does in this game, because I know that there's a version of Green Arrow here. So we've got Oliver Queen, the Hood, or Ollie. Has acrobatic abilities, can take photographs, projectile rebound, so when he fires his arrow he can bounce off of certain things when he's on a special pad, explosive bolts, grappling hook, security access, sonar bolts, and heat bolts. And he's quite an eclectic little character there. Obviously with Arrow and Supergirl we get the Flash TV hero. So this is the one based off of Grant Gustin. I really hope I pronounced that right. We had Stephen Amell's Arrow there. So like Zoom, he can be an acrobat, he can take photographs, he can, well, he has security access, has sonar bolts when we hold down, or sonar when we hold down circle and perform a sonar attack. He can climb walls, he can teleport, and he can use the cosmic treadmill. Now, this one, very special. We have Black Lightning. Now, Black Lightning is definitely one that I kind of hoped for when they said that they were doing TV packs. So Black Lightning himself obviously is immune to electricity attacks. He can fly. He uses electricity to shoot out, as well as being able to deflect beams, which is very, very handy. He has a hyper jump ability, can illuminate in darkness, take photographs, and also has security access, as well as being able to X-ray, use technology, and create a shield bubble around himself. And what I'll do very, very quickly, guys, is just switch to him, because when he flies, they gave us the very special honor of putting the little electricity things through his hands, which actually happens when he does it in the show. So they did really well with this, guys, and I'm really happy that they did. They just fly him around there. So last but not least is the one and only Atom from the TV show. So the Atom, or Ray Palmer from Team Arrow and the Legends of Tomorrow, has a little electrical shot, is protected from gas or toxic gas, has hyper jump, can fly, can access a fuse box because he can shrink, can use the photo mode, as well as scaling. Now the scaling is shrinking or growing, so he can be very, very small or big and tall. And obviously he has protection to electricity, as well as being able to pass through vents and transform his size using triangle. Uses his technology, has security access, and can also X-ray. Now, I think it's really cool having this particular Atom here, the Ray Palmer one, because while there is an Atom in this game, it's actually the second Atom, Ryan Choi. So I think it's cool having Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi as both the Atom in the one game. And Ray's really special because when you select him, sometimes he actually speaks. So we'll select him right now and see if he says anything.
Whoa, how did I get here? Did someone just change time again?
Now, yes guys, indeed it was hopefully Brendan Ruth who voiced him there. So we have him voicing our little Atom, which is pretty damn awesome.
Whoa, how did I get here? Did someone just change time again?
And he would normally move his mouth when he speaks, but obviously decided not to there. So the next pack we got was the Justice League Dark characters. So first off we have Deadman. Known aliases is Boston Brand, and he is part of the Justice League Dark as well as the Sentinels of Magic. Boston is a bit of an acrobat, but can also fly, do graffiti, is protected from electricity attacks. He has hyper jump, which most of the flying characters do. He has protection from toxic goo, toxic gas, and fire. He can control the minds of others. Well, I would say that's more of a possession kind of thing, because, well, he is dead. Otherwise, he wouldn't be called Dead Man. Get it? Deadman can also take photographs, as well as teleportation, vent travel, security access, and stealth. So, Boston Brand, people. Pretty cool character. In the Injustice universe, Deadman is actually Nightwing after Damian Wayne kills him. So, a little bit of a tidbit for you there. Next up is my favourite and current member of the Legends of Tomorrow, or at least on the TV show, John Constantine. At the time I suppose they made this, he was just a part of the Justice League Dark, and the TV show hadn't kind of like aired yet. But John can deflect fire beams, he has fire bolts, can illuminate dark areas, has chlorokinesis, controlling plants, earth access, can control the minds of others using his witchcraft, or warlock craft, or master of the dark arts craft, can teleport through mirror portals, and has a lovely little heat power. Now, Constantine's abilities are really, really cool, guys. I really enjoyed using this character. He also has the ability to use stealth, create a shield, has security access, photo mode, as is all of them, telekinesis, and vent travel. Next up is a character that's not really well known, the Spectre. The Spectre is James Corrigan in his actual body, but it's also known as the Spirit of God's Vengeance. So the Spectre himself is a bit of a detective. He has electricity powers, which means he's immune to them, can fly, which means he has also got hyper jump. He's protected from toxic goo and toxic gas, as well as fire. Takes photos, can go completely invisible, has telekinesis, and can transform his height, and he can go inside vents. He's very, very handy in a fight. This particular magician needs no introduction. We have the wonderful Zatanna. So, like most others, she has flight, illumination, lighting up dark areas, photo mode, security access, electricity powers, chlorokinesis, she can deflect beams, and she is a bit of an acrobat, as well as being able to create shields, telekinesis, and vent travel. Now, I do have a small issue with Zatanna in this particular game. She just, like, her face model to me seems like she's a little bit old, and that slightly bugs me a little bit about Zatanna. I kind of like a young looking Zatanna, but I'm not complaining. She's here, that's awesome. Next up we have Gone will be the form of man, and will rise the demon Etrigan. So, Etrigan, aka Jason Blood, can do the boost lift, which is throwing our teammates into the air. He's immune to fire, toxic gas, and toxic goo. Can smash through walls with his demon-like strength. Take photos of the hellish plane. He can do a hyper jump, and if you hold down circle, he will burn away all that stand before him. So, almost done, guys, and then we can actually move on. Last but not least is Swamp Thing, the avatar of the green, aka Alec Holland. Now, Swamp Thing can deflect beams, and that's pretty cool because I remember testing out some of these magical DC characters and just firing firebolts as John Constantine at Swamp Thing and watching him just deflect them. He has the boost lift, like Etrigan, chlorokinesis, dig, toxic gas protection, as well as fire and electricity. He can access the earth and grow plants to what he requires them to be. So think kind of like Lantern Construct, but with plants. He's protected from toxic goo. He has the hyper jump, illumination, photo mode, super strength, and smashing walls. The only thing that they haven't given him that I would have liked to have seen myself is the flying ability. We've yet to see how we've yet to see a big fig like him fly with wings, because when Swamp Thing flies, he actually brings out his wings. Now, I'm going to say here, these ones here that are X, these are from the Aquaman DLC, which I will show off at some point. So keep eyes peeled for that in the future, guys. And the next thing I want to show very, very quickly is these guys. So I've created Ninja and Monster. And as we go through the game, I'll explain why I've made those particular characters for the time being. So that will become clear. So if you're scratching your head going, Jai,
Killer
why have you made...
Frost, here to send chills down the spines of my enemies.
Jai, why have you made a monster and ninja? It will become clear in time, guys, as well as the fact that the rabbit look that we have chosen is going to help us out greatly as well. So we need to get to Bell Rev, so we need to go back to the Hall of Doom if the teleporter will let us.